So, good day everyone. My name is Trini Alasner Jr. and I am your reporter for today. My topic is all about Dpwh Blue Book item 305 to 308. So first is the item 305, which is Miscellaneous Penetration Macadam Pavement. Under the item 305 is standard 5.1, which is the description. Description: this item shall consist of furnishing and placing one or more courses of graded aggregates and one or more application of bituminous materials, followed by a seal coat with core aggregates constructed on a prepared base in accordance with these specifications and in conformity with the lines, graded grades and typical cross-section shown in the plans. So, kanina item is na topic na natin sa atong consmet. So, mag-recap na lang ko about ang bituminous penetration na pavement. So, the next is 305.2, which is material requirements. So, 305.2.1 is quantities of materials. The approximate amount of materials per square meter and sequence of operations shall be provided in table 305, whichever is called for the bills of quantities. So next is 305.2.2, which is the bituminous materials. The bituminous materials shall be either asphalt cement, so kabalo naman taon sa mga asphalt cement, rapid curing, cut-back asphalt, or emulsified asphalt, whichever is called for in the bill of quantities. It shall conform to the requirements of item 702, bituminous materials. The penetration grade number of asphalt cement, and type grade cutback are specified in the special provision. Diba sa atong consmat, diba na kwanta na different man sa penetration. So, si Macadam kay legit nakuha ni pangalan niya Macadam sa apelido ni Macadam. Nakalimot ko sa iyang pangalan. So, the next is 305.2.3, which is the aggregates. So, magkasama sa mga aggregates, which is defined in the course aggregates, that in the course aggregate shall be crushed stone. So, paggamit daw sa penetration na kadang pavement, so kailangan na ito ang crushed stone, crushed mud, or crushed gravel. So, the choker material, K-rock, and silver aggregate shall be crushed or broken stone, crushed gravel or crushed boulders, or squid gravel or coarse sand. All aggregates shall consist of clean, tough, durable fragments, free from excess of flat, soft, or disintegrated pieces, and free from stone coated with dirt or other obstruable matter, which will prevent adherence of the asphalt to the aggregates. Natural gravel may be used for cover material. Gradation shall conform to table 5.2. So next is the 305.3, which is the construction requirements. So 305.3.1 are the limitations. The application of bituminous material shall be made only if the aggregates is dry, so dry now, and the atmospheric temperature in the shade is 15 degrees Celsius above. So dapat sa mababa of 15 degrees Celsius. The weather is not foggy or humid. So dili ko daw siya dapat foggy or rainy. So next is the equipment. Equipment to be used shall include hand or power operated brooms. So kung hand siya, which is shovel, rake, self-powered bituminous material distribution, or hand or power operated spray, pumps, broom, dragging equipment, and self-powered rollers. So the roller shall be self-propelled steel wheel per laboratory or pneumatic type, the number and weight ruler shall be sufficient to compact the layer the required condition. So katong pang-compact siya sa mga layer para kundi tayo siya. So naka-compact din tayo ang atong aggregates na buhaton. So next is the 305.3.5. 305.3.3, which is the conditioning of existing base. So before spreading the aggregate, so the base shall be clean. So hinduan sa nato, no? Of all loose foreign materials, the existing base shall be swept until the embedded large ay exposed, or in this case, of previously constructed asphalt surface until the surface is free or of mud and other covering. Di ba katong consulat dati na pagkuha sa kuan dapat katong daan is kuhaon sa nato, so hindo siya, so ito nimo dapat ibalik. So imong ibuan pulihan gyud, dapat walay mabilin ato nga part. So hinduan gyud siya maayo, dapat limpido kayo. So next is spreading and compacting of aggregate layer, which is under siya sa 305.3.4. The number of layers which is the macadam pavement is to be constructed, and the order and rates the bituminous material and mineral aggregates are to be spread shall be indicated. The aggregate shall be dry rolled until it is compacted and caged. Rolling shall progress gradually from the side to the center, parallel with the center line of the road and overlapping uniformly each preceding rear with track by half. Material which is crushed excessively under the roller or becomes segregated in such a manner as to prevent free and uniform penetration of the bituminous material shall be removed and placed to build aggregates. So next is the 305.3.5, which is the application of bituminous material. The bituminous material, which is the uniform applied at the rate specified below. Building paper shall be placed over the end of the previous application, and the other end shall start the building paper. The distributor shall not be cleaned or discharged if the chest, barrel, hips, or shoulders along the right way. So next is the 305.4 method of measurement. Method of measurement: bituminous materials and aggregates of bituminous penetration macadam pavement will be measured by the ton. The quantity to be paid for shall be the number of tons of bituminous material aggregates used and accepted in the completed work. So next is the 305.5, basis of payment. The accepted quantities measured as described on section 305.4 shall be paid, and the bituminous penetration macadam pavement materials for all labor, equipment, goods, and assessment. So payment would be under. So 305, the aggregates. So ang unit niya is ton. 305, the asphalt cement, ton po. The cut-back asphalt, naka-ton po dapat. Emulsified asphalt, naka-ton po dapat. Next is item 306, which is the bituminous road mix surface course. So under ang 306.1, which is the description, this item shall consist of constructing a bituminous road mix surface course on a prepared base in accordance with this specification and its conformity with the lines, grades, and typically cross-section shown on the plans or as established by the engineer. So next is the 306.2 materials requirements. So under ang bituminous materials, which is the 306.2.1, the bituminous material shall be either rapid curing, cutback medium curing, cutback or emulsified asphalt, whichever is called for in the bill of quantities. So next is the 306.2.2, which is the aggregates. The aggregate shall conform to applicable requirements of item 703 aggregates. It will be tested for acceptance immediately preceding addition of bituminous material to the mix. So, ang mga kapitan na ni kay balik ng nako nabalik na tackle na nag sa trian sa consmat nato dati kung yung naminaw mo sa reporter. So, the aggregates may be new or salvaged from the existing surface. So, new aggregate which shall conform to the application regarding of item 75. Second is the salvage aggregates or aggregates required for the road mix surface course of already in place. So next is the 306.2.3, which is the proportioning of mixtures, the proportion of bituminous materials on the basis of total dry aggregate shall be from, condition, the importance shall be from 4.5 to 7 mass percent, which that box asphalt is used, and from 6 to 10 mass percent in emulsified asphalt is used. So, nasa kung ang imong gamiton daw is cut-block asphalt, so 4.5 to 7 mass lang percent. O kung emulsified asphalt na imong gamiton is 6 to 10 mass percent lang. The exact percentage to be used shall be fixed by engineer in accordance in the job mix formula and for the quality of performance. So next is the 306.3 construction requirements. So the 306.3.1 is the weather limitation. So weather limitation, the construction of road mix between these stages shall be carried on only when the surface on which the material is to be placed is dry and when the weather is not foggy. So kailan lang atong nakadamdamin na dapat dry ang imong dapat dry o dili foggy o rainy ang weather. So next is 306.3.2, the construction equipment. The equipment used by the contractor shall include sacrificing, mixing, feeding, finishing, and compacting equipment of bituminous distributor and the equipment of heating bituminous material. So next is the 306.3.3, the preparation of base. So naano siya kuan ka phase duha. First is the phase 1, the new aggregates. The new aggregate is to be used for the road mix surface course. The existing base shall be scarified lightly and graded to uniform grade and to the cross-section shown in the plans. So next is the phase 2, which is the salvage aggregate. And material in the existing surface to be used for mixing, the surface shall be scarified lightly and graded to uniform grade in the cross-section shown in the plans. So next is the placing aggregate, which is nakapaloob sa 306.3.4. New aggregates required shall be uniformly spread on the prepared surface. If the surface moisture of the aggregate is more than 2% of dry weight, except when the bituminous material is emulsified. Asphalt. The aggregate shall be turned by blades or these harrows or otherwise waited until the moisture content is reduced to 2% or less. Delay of aerating and drying the aggregates, the contractor may use an approved additive except for emulsified asphalt. So the additive shall permit suitable coating of the wet aggregate and shall prevent the bituminous coating. So next is the 306.3.5, the application of bituminous material. The bituminous material shall be uniformly distributed in successive application with just amount and at such intervals as directed. The mixing equipment shall follow immediately behind the distributor after each application of bituminous material to partially mix the aggregates and the bituminous material. So mix ang pag-mix na. So mixing which is the nasa sa 306.2.6. So when the mixing operator has been satisfactorily completed, the mixture shall be forwarded to withdraw going into expo section. So after the last application of bituminous material and partial mixing, the entire mass of bituminous material and aggregate shall be then rolled on the road surface and then mixed. The mix should show an excess, deficiency, or uneven distribution of bituminous material. The condition shall be corrected by the addition of aggregates. So, if the contractor elects to use traveling or stationary mixing plants in light of the specific equipment using requirements of spreading residual moisture and separating volatiles, volatiles even above shall apply. The next is the 306.8.7, which is the speeding, compacting, and finishing. When the compacted thickness of the road mix surface is to be more than 50 mm or 2 inches, the mixture shall be split from the withdraw and compacted its two layers. In the first layer is to be dissolved before the second layer is spread. The material shall be spread by a self-propelled pneumatic tire, blade grader, or a mechanical spreader of a type. After the material is spread, the surface shall be rolled. Rolling shall be parallel to the road center line and shall connect with outer edges of the road. So next is the 306.3.8, the surface requirement. Surface requirement shall be as specified in subsection 307.3.11, except that the permissible surface variance will be 10 mm in 3 mm, 3 meters, or 3.8 inch in 10 feet. Next is 306.4, the method of measurement. Bituminous material and aggregates bituminous road mixed surface course will be measured by the ton. The quantity to be paid for shall be the number of tons of bituminous materials. So next is the basis of payment. The acceptance quantities measured of described in the section 306.4 shall be paid for at the contract unit price of bituminous road mixed surface course. So payment will be made under, so the description is the bituminous road mixed surface course. Aggregates for bituminous road mixed surface course. Unit niya is of measurement is ton. Bituminous material for bituminous road mixed surface course is ton to the unit weight. So next is item 307, which is the bituminous plant mixed surface course general. So 307.1 description. This item includes general requirements that are applicable to all types of bituminous plant mixed surface courses, respective of gradation of aggregates of kind of amount of bituminous material. So next is the 307.2, which is the material requirements. Under ang mga 307.2.1, the definition of quality of bituminous mixtures. A bituminous mixture shall be composed of aggregates, medium filler, hydrated lime, and bituminous material. Next is the 307.2.2, which is the bituminous material. The kind of bituminous material to be used will be as called for in the bill of quantities, while the type and the grade will be specified in the special provision. The grade may be changed one step by the engineer. So next is the 307.2.2, the aggregates. So aggregates shall conform to the application terms of item. So then the aggregates. So 307.2.4 is the mineral filler. It shall conform to the requirements of item 703, mineral fillers. Next is the 307.2.5, the hydrated lime. Also po siya naka-constitute sa requirements of item 701 sa construction line. So 307.2.6, portioning of mixtures. 307.2.6, proportion of mixtures. Bituminous material on the basis of totally dry aggregate shall be from 5 to 8 mass percent. The exact percent to be used shall be fixed. by the engineer in accordance. So next is the uh, construction requirements. First is the weather limitations. 307.3.1. The bituminous plant shall not be placed on a wet surface or when weather condition would prevent the proper handling of finishing of the bituminous mixtures. So next is the construction equipment. Bituminous mixing plant. Uh, Sufficient storage space shall be provided for each size of aggregates. The different aggregate size shall be kept separated until they have been delivered to life. So, first, an analysis requirement plants used for the preparation of bituminous mixture shall conform to the requirements for all plants under requirements of plants, requirements of plants, and requirements of batching plants. So, kanang mga ilan na ang batching plants kay na-experiment na natin sa batching plants. So, sunod kay requirements of continuous mixing plants. And then the hauling equipment, the bituminous weavers, short ski or show, rollers. Next is the 307.3.3, the conditioning of existing. Immediately before placing the bituminous mixture, the existing surface shall be cleaned or loose of the deleterious material by pruning or the approved means. Next is the 307.3.4, the preparation of bituminous materials. Prepared, the bituminous material shall be heated so as to avoid local overheating and providing a continuous supply of the bituminous material to the mixer. So, kailangan din siya pilitin of maayo. So, the mixer shall be required to achieve the kinematic viscosity to the range of 150-300. So, napakita siya. So, between the ash-to T201. Asphalt cement shall not be used while it foaming or shall be heated above. So next is the 307.3, the preparation of aggregates. Aggregates for pad mill mixing shall be heated, dried, and delivered to the mixing temperature with the range of plus minus 17 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Fahrenheit. The bitumen moisture content of the aggregate shall not exceed 1 mass percent at a time. So next is the mixing. The dried aggregates and the bituminous material should be measured, gauged, and introduced into mixtures into the amount specified by the mixing formula. So next is the 307.3.7, spreading and finishing. The mixture shall be spread and struck the grade and elevation established. Bituminous paper shall be used to distribute the mixing either over the entire width of or over such partial which may be practicable. So, with the R is used, the mixture shall be placed between 66 degrees Celsius and 107 degrees Celsius. Next is the compaction. Compact. After the mixture has been spread, struck of all surface, the surface shall be rolled by the mixtures in the proper condition, and when the rolling does not cause under displacement, cracking, and shoving, rolling shall begin at the sides and proceed longitudinally parallel towards the road certain line. So next is the 307.3.9, which is the joints. The bituminous pavement shall be continuous as possible. Roller shall not pass over the unprotected electricity unless authorized. So next is the 307.3.10, acceptance on sling and sting. So the contractor shall cut full depth samples as directed from the finished pavement. For samples shall be neatly cut by saw or core drill. Each sample shall be at least 150 mm or 150 mm or 100 mm diameter full depth at least 1. Pag magkuha ng sample, I'll be testing na itong 150 by 150 mm or 100 mm then full depth. So next is the surface tolerance. The surface will be checked by the use of 3M straight edge site selected by the engineer. The straight edge will be applied at right angles or well as a parallel to the circuit rotor. So next is the 307.4 method of measurement. So the area to be paid for under the item shall be the number of square meters asphalt pavement placed, compacted and accepted based on the thickness and densities of the course. So next is the 307.5, the basis of pavement. So the acceptance quantity measured as prescribed in section 307.4 will be paid for provided in the respective items specified type of bituminous plant mix. So next is the item 308, the cold asphalt plant mix. The first is the description of the 308.1. This item shall consist of constructing bituminous surface coarse asphalt cold mix prepared in the central mixing plants laid cold. So the material requirements, uh, 1, oxidation and quality asphalt cold mix GFC formula. Then 2, the bituminous material, it shall be either liquid cutback asphalt or emulsified asphalt. So next is the coarse aggregates. The coarse aggregate shall conform the applicable requirements of item 703 or ASHTOT specification N79. So next is the fine aggregates. The fine aggregate shall conform to the application requirements of item 700 specification N29 or STM D1073. Mineral fillers, it shall conform to the requirements of item 703A, mineral fillers or STM designation D242. The proportioning of mixtures, percent of bituminous materials at the base of the dry aggregate shall be from 4.5 to 7%, which is black asphalt. Use from 6 to 10 mass percentage emulsified asphalt. The percentage to use shall be fixed by the engineer according with the job mix formula. So next is the construction requirements. Uh, the construction requirements. The 308.3.1 is the weather limitation. Cold asphalt mix shall be placed on the wind only when the specified is obtained. The mixture shall not place on the air any wet surface. So Dpwh concept mga basa. Pareho lang sila sa item na 300. Is 305, 6, and 307. Proper handling of finishing asphalt. So surface temperature of the base course is below 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So next is the preparing area to pave. This area to pave shall be substantially through to the line and grade. It shall have a firm and properly prepared surface before paving operation begins, or loose and foreign materials shall be removed. Next is preparing the mixtures. The asphalt shall be warmed if necessary at the paving plant of temperature at which it can be applied from the aggregate. Cold aggregate shall be fed carefully to the plant so that surplus and shortage will not occur and cause breaks in the continuous operation. Mixing time shall be the shortest time that will produce a satisfactory mixture. Next is the placing the mix. Placing the mix. This base course mixture shall be placed in one more plate with an asphalt paver or speeder to provide a nominal compacted thickness of this base course. Next is 308.3.5. This is the compacting the mixture. The mix shall be compacted immediately after placing initial rolling with a steel-wheeled tandem or three-wheeled roller, vibratory roller, or pneumatic tire. An application of chalk and grease may be necessary to prevent mix pickup by the pneumatic tire ruler. Final ruling shall eliminate marks from previous ruling in the areas too small for the ruling of vibrating plate or compactor or hand dampers shall be used to achieve true compaction. Next is the safety. Safety precautions shall be used at all times during the progress of the works as appropriate workmen shall be punished with the hard hats. Next is the acceptance requirements. Divide asphalt mixture produced into lots. Each lot equals to the mix produced during the day. So next is the construction equipment. The equipment. The equipment. Asphalt mixing plants designed to produce the uniform mix the job mix tolerance. So power weavers that are capable of speeding the mix to the thickness and width specified through the line, grade, and crown shown in the plants. Hand took necessary to complete the job. A power broom or power blower or both. Other equipment can be used in addition to specified equipment when approved by the engineer. So next is the sampling. Sampling of asphalt material shall be in accordance with the latest revision of ASH to designation T40, ASH to designation D140. Sampling of minerals additions shall be in accordance with the latest revision of ASH to designation AST division D75. Next is the testing. Method of testing shall be accordance with the application ASH to AST methods of measurement. The bituminous mixture will be measured by square meter. The quantity to be paid shall be the number of square meters of the mixture placed and compacted into the acceptance payment. So basis of paid payment, the acceptance of quantity measured as paid prescribed in the section 308. So payment will be made under the bituminous plant mixture fiscals called unit square meter. So, moro to ang ako report. So, salamat. Bye!